We are kicking things off with massive trade speculation, shaking up the Golden State Warriors. Latest Warriors comments slam the door shut on long-rumored trade target Nikola Vucevic. We dive into why Steve Kerr's recent comments about needing younger legs make pursuing this big man incredibly unlikely for the franchise this offseason. Drawing parallels to the struggles of the Utah Jazz team. Find out what Green said about Morey's role and the executive battles brewing within the Warriors organization. Finally, we return to the future of the franchise with the latest contract rumors surrounding Stephen Curry. New reports reveal the Warriors' confidence in extending Curry amid the offseason uncertainty. We look at the potential deal and what this signifies for the team's long-term strategy. Stay with us for the rest of the show. The Golden State Warriors have effectively closed the door on long-rumored trade target Nikola Vucevic this offseason, following comments from head coach Steve Kerr emphasizing the team's urgent need for younger players. Vucevic, a notable target before the 2025 midseason trade deadline, is set to become an unrestricted free agent this summer, potentially making him an attractive acquisition for rival teams seeking a big man, especially at a reduced cost compared to his $21.5 million salary this season. The potential for a Vucevic trade was fueled by the Warriors' uncertain center rotation. Given that Kristaps Porzingis is also an unrestricted free agent, Quinton Post is a restricted free agent, and Al Horford holds a player option for next season. However, Kerr's recent statements have significantly altered the landscape. Following the re-signing of the four-time championship-winning coach to a new 2-year contract, Kerr acknowledged the Warriors' deficiency in depth, citing the team's struggles over the final months of the season due to injuries. Kerr stated repeatedly, "We need some younger legs," emphasizing the necessity of players who can play back-to-backs and allow key players adequate rest. While Vucevic remains durable, nearing 36 years old, Kerr's comments pointed toward a broader need for athleticism to maintain relevance in a league increasingly dominated by younger talent. This perspective makes pursuing Vucevic increasingly unlikely for Golden State. Analysts suggest that while Vucevic offers spacing the franchise has prioritized, his profile as a below-the-rim center, coupled with clear defensive concerns, weighs heavily against the move. His diminished impact in the playoffs, notably his reduced minutes and absence in a critical Game 7 against the Celtics, underscored these concerns. Despite his declining value, acquiring the All-Star would contradict the franchise's current direction set by Kerr and the organization. The Golden State Warriors are aggressively positioning themselves to secure a lucrative, long-term contract extension for superstar point guard Steph Curry as he approaches free agency later this summer. Reports indicate the potential value of the deal is staggering, with speculation pointing toward a 2-year extension, potentially worth nearly $140 million, aligning with the financial commitments made to other elite players. Mark Stein of the Stein Line reported that Curry could command up to $70 million annually through a contract extending through his age 40-41 season in 2028-29. Curry turns 38 this year and has 1 year remaining on his current contract, which is set to pay him approximately $62.6 million for the 2026-27 season. The Warriors organization is confident in striking a deal that secures Curry's future with the team, regardless of off-season roster changes. Golden State General Manager Mike Dunleavy has publicly confirmed the team's intent to pursue a new deal, stating, "I don't see, under any scenario, where we don't want to figure out a way to have him finish here." This intent is further underscored by head coach Steve Kerr's commitment, as Kerr has indicated his intention to remain with Curry in the Bay Area until his retirement. Curry's recent performance remains elite, evidenced by his 12th All-Star selection in his 17-year career and his strong statistical output, including averaging 26.6 points, 4.7 assists, 3.6 rebounds, and 1.1 steals per game in the 2025-26 season. Analysts anticipate he is a strong contender for an All-NBA team spot. While the Warriors are focused on Curry, league analysts suggest the team will be aggressive across the board, in free agency and trades, to add complementary talent to bolster their competitiveness in the Western Conference, especially as the Oklahoma City Thunder enters the conference finals. Meanwhile, Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James is also entering a pivotal phase, becoming an unrestricted free agent this summer. James has previously expressed interest in playing alongside Curry. If James does not return to Los Angeles, he presents a potential asset for Golden State, with reports suggesting he might be willing to play for less than the maximum salary, depending on the circumstances. Golden State Warriors star forward Draymond Green has drawn a compelling comparison between former Philadelphia 76ers president of basketball operations Daryl Morey and former Warriors general manager Bob Myers, who now holds an executive position with the Sixers ownership group HBSC. In a recent podcast appearance, Green likened the dynamic to the 1990s Utah Jazz team, led by John Stockton and Karl Malone, who consistently came close to the NBA Finals but were ultimately defeated by Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Green stated, "Daryl Morey was fired by the Sixers. If you're able to be in the running for this job, you're lucky because you get Bob Myers as a soundboard. Bob Myers has been to Daryl Morey what Michael Jordan was to like Stockton and Malone." Green elaborated that while acknowledging Morey's achievements, he suggested that Myers' team constructions were key factors in Morey not achieving ultimate success in Philadelphia, concluding, "Daryl Morey couldn't get over the hump due to teams that Bob Myers was putting together. And now, Daryl Morey's gonna lose his role as the president of basketball operations due to Bob Myers making the basketball decisions in Philly. Daryl Morey just kind of keeps running into Bob Myers, and it's unfortunate. I know Bob means well, but Morey kind of had this one coming." Despite the underlying tension suggested by Green's remarks, public respect between the two executives remains evident. Following Morey's dismissal, Bob Myers maintained a civil stance during a press conference, stating, "I like Daryl. I'm not going to disparage Daryl here today. I think he did a fine job, and I think he's a good person." However, this acknowledgement was not a strong endorsement. Myers is now tasked with identifying a successor who can outperform Morey's performance in the role. Golden State Warriors are reportedly poised to secure a long-term contract extension for superstar Stephen Curry this summer, potentially resolving lingering uncertainty surrounding his future with the franchise. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Warriors are demonstrating significant confidence in striking a deal that positions Curry for a final chapter as a Warrior. Stein indicated that the team is prepared to offer a 2-year extension valued near $140 million, a figure comparable to the extension recently granted to Jaylen Brown by the Boston Celtics. This move would secure Curry beyond his current contract, which is set to expire before the 2026-27 season, where he is projected to earn $62.5 million before becoming an unrestricted free agent. The Warriors' desire to retain their best player for the end of his career is clear. Although Curry is not performing at his MVP peak, he remains a top-tier option for a championship contender, having recently posted a 26.6 points per game average, despite injury setbacks limiting his playing time. This pursuit follows the recent signing of legendary coach Steve Kerr to a new 2-year deal, signaling the team's focus on securing Curry for the coming seasons.